Hello, beautiful soul. I know it's been a minute since I did a video. And if you've been in my world for a minute or you're super psychic, you know that my mind is like constantly going, and I'm always putting stuff in my phone to remember later. So something that I wanted to write an email about, like maybe you saw my rant I went on about the narcissist empath, like those things were in my phone for months. And then I waited to act on it. And so one of the beautiful things that's really come in the past week is that everything really does happen in divine timing. And it's honestly been like a very big struggle for me learning that lesson. I am sitting here in Atlanta, Georgia, in my beautiful friend's home, and obviously not in Hawaii yet. And I'm really not trying to make like an insane amount of money to get to Hawaii. There's a lot of lessons with me and money and receiving and trusting while constantly going through like insane death and rebirths. And if you have any reflections on that or you're going through it, please let me know. And then also, if you have questions, let me know. I do want to do a question and answer series where I'm like recording question and answers that I collect from you guys, and then just kind of like give you some insight. But it's been a hard lesson, and that's honestly why I haven't been on camera, because I have just been like really bummed out that I'm not where I want to be. However, the number of signs and synchronicities that I get every day that like this is 100% happening, like if you got to just keep trusting, like something big is coming, like I feel that in my heart. But the reason I decided to record this like right now when I don't have that much time before I have to go, I just really wanted to share, like, it can feel really hard and I totally get it. And like, you can have like literally all the tools. Like, I feel like I have all of the best tools, right? But there's some things that we have to sit and feel, and we have to sit and feel them to heal them. And then the energy can get transmuted. So for me, like I'll say, every morning when I'm like clearing an energy that's not mine, clearing an energy that's not on my highest and best, it's fun to kind of see where I decide to send it. So sometimes I'll say I'm sending it back to God for justice to be transmuted into pure divine love. Or sometimes I'll say sending it back to Mother Earth to be transmuted into perfect divine love, and then seeing where that goes. But the reason I hopped on today was because I thought it would be fun to just like go through my notes on my phone and fire off some of the things that I've been wanting to share with you. And instead of spreading them out over several emails, I can just share it with you in this video. And if you're like me and you love to binge content, you will have this. So save this. And I just got a notification about something cool astrologically that's happening today. Perfect. Okay. So, and if you have an iPhone, if you're one of us, I'm literally just like the notes app in my phone is like my best friend. I'm always putting stuff in there. So the first one is, and I'm going to draw cards too, like at some point probably. So I wrote down no more constriction around big purchases, like 300K for a tractor. Okay. So I have a client who told me that she no longer feels constriction around big purchases. I would consider a $300,000 purchase a pretty big purchase. And I'm just really excited for her. And that was something that we did through energy healing. She's one of my clients who has tapped into the fairies in a very real way and has been tapping into Mother Earth in a very big way and receiving some beautiful codes. So that's really fun. This is just so fun. Like, and like, yay for me for like capturing that and writing it down and not remembering. That's why I thought it'd be fun to go through this, because I don't know, maybe every few weeks I'd be like, what have I written down in the last few weeks? And then I'll go through it and then just kind of see what's up. Okay. So this one said, oh, this is a good one. Fear of death, yet not afraid of suffering and living in fatigue, pain, and loneliness. What if you were told you only have a week to live? Very interesting. Been really drawn to some new TV shows And again, new Fallon, current Fallon, I'm not going to watch like a horror flick, but like previous Fallon couldn't watch anything remotely sad or scary whatsoever, especially when it came to like good and evil fighting. But new current Fallon is like welcoming more information and learning, very much pushed to start Lock and Key on Netflix, and then very much pushed to start the Umbrella Academy. Very powerful stuff. And so it really got me thinking about death. And I wrote here in my notes, death is our biggest teacher. Someone said that at some point in one of those shows. And I also think it came up in a book. Yeah. The Untethered Soul I reread recently. And it was another theme that kept coming back. And then I went on in my own note to say that I used to not think I was going to make it into my next big birthday. So when I was little, I didn't think I'd make it to 10. When I was 10, I didn't think I'd make it to 13, because 13 is when you're considered a teenager. When I was 13, I didn't think I'd make it to 16. When I can drive, 16, 18, you get the idea. And so, you know, deep down, like I knew all of the things that I believe in now, like were real, but my reality definitely did not fit that, especially like my thoughts. Like I just felt like a prisoned princess pretty much all the time, which is why I didn't think I would make it, because I thought that like my heart would go out or I would kill myself. Like I just always felt that. And it was probably not until some 38 and 3/4 now. So probably it wasn't until my 32, 33rd birthday where I started not having that thought where, cool, made it to another birthday, but probably not going to make it to the next big one. And that's because I was addressing my PTSD. If you did not know this, the feeling that you're not going to make it to another birthday is a symptom of PTSD, specifically from childhood trauma. And if you don't know if you have childhood trauma, you can do an ACEs test. So ACEs stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences. You can Google it. It's very easy to find. And then I wrote here, so I wrote, not thinking I would make it to my next birthday, sign of PTSD. Yeah, I didn't want to choose a higher timeline to do what I really wanted, which is to like help people and heal people, starting with myself. And then I said how narcissists steal your time. So apparently this is when I was still on my narcissism kick. Yeah, because time and attention are our biggest resources. And obviously narcissists steal your time, they steal your resources. And if you knew you only had a week to live and death was your biggest teacher, how would that change? And if you don't know, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan, and he has one of his skits where he says that more people are afraid of public speaking than dying. And like, that's a little strange. And when I'm now working with someone that has a fear of death, and I'm not afraid to ask them the questions I really want to ask them about spirituality, like, why are you afraid to die? Like, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, what would you regret? People regret not doing things. People don't regret doing something most of the time, if you've read books about death and dying. And I'm just like staring at my notes because I knew there was something else here I wanted to share. Yeah, so like, why are you afraid of dying? Like, are you afraid of where you think you're going to go? Are you afraid of not knowing where you're going to go? Because you're going to go to a beautiful place. Like, if you follow anyone who is of the light and has had a near-death experience, they all share that it was the most beautiful place and the most beautiful colors and sounds that literally could not be translated for us at this time to even understand. And none of them wanted to come back because it was so glorious and beautiful. And whatever your beliefs are, like, your angels, your guides, they know whatever you want to happen. Like, if you want a man with long dark hair and a white robe to show up and greet you when you pass over, that's what's going to happen. If you want a bunch of fairies and mermaids to greet you and to be like, welcome home, we're so happy you made it, go on and, you know, feel free and like get in the water with us, like, that's what's going to happen. I think that was a really powerful thing for me to kind of reflect on, because I never had, again, like, this is why I wanted to get on video and share more things. And because I've never been afraid of dying. Like, I've always just like, if it happens, it happens. But that's because I wasn't dealing with my trauma, and because I always knew in my heart that wherever I was going was going to be better, because Earth was hard. So that's why when I get up every day, I drink my water and I do my energy healing and I do my gratitude, because those are the things I know make such a big difference. And I need to set myself up for my day in the ultimate way. And then when I go to bed at night, setting myself up for the ultimate sleep experience, which yay me, this is probably why I'm like able to share more with you guys. It's having crazy nightmares and like stabbing pain migraines and a lot of stuff the last couple weeks, because I've been doing a huge clearing out. I got some chakras replaced. I healed like a lot of past lives, like a lot of stuff the last couple weeks. Last night, I was literally floating in the most beautiful river, which I didn't know if it existed in actual California or not, but I researched a couple things and looked at some of the pictures of some of the rivers in California, and I found the one, and I was like, very cool. Some codes there. I was so happy. Like, I was in my healthiest, most vital body. I was with these amazing people and just like being so excited to be in this experience where I was like literally just floating on a paddleboard, and like the river was barely moving. So it almost felt more like a lake, just like floating, but like surrounded by these huge, beautiful mountains. And I was crying because I was like, Mother Earth, I'm so grateful that you've been wanting to work with me. That's been something that has been coming through. Which is so fun, because that's why one of my clients is getting these crazy cool Mother Earth codes, because they came through me and I'm able to share them with her. Amazing. What else do I got here? Some new podcast title ideas for later. Very cool. Ooh, and then a tagline for a possible new podcast. Unchained, uncaged, unscripted. Let me know what you think about that. I'm going to change unchained, unbound, because I keep pulling that damn card. Perfect. Okay, cool. What else do I got, y'all? This is wild. Okay, so I was learning, I wanted to watch something earthy, and so I put on some show, and they're talking about how jellyfish have a consciousness of 650, which is like very high, right? Jesus walked around at 700 healing people. Jellyfish have a consciousness of 650. No, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Consciousness of a jellyfish. Jellyfish are 650 million years old, and they don't have a brain. And so then, of course, it'll be a fun day when I'm like no longer thinking with my brain world, where I come from, the brain world, and I think about brain healing, right? And even like attaching as the world's best certified brain health coach, like maybe I'll let that go today. Who knows? But I think it's important for people to know when I'm inviting them to do things and advice, like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'd love to help you if you're having some brain issues. But this is the thing. The brain is a processor. It's not where you receive. You receive through your cells, and then it's transmuted through the heart consciousness. Your heart tells your brain what to do with the information. Your brain processes it. That's why heart consciousness is so important, and like obviously brain rewiring. But when you're leading with your heart, you're being present of the base of your spine, like you're literally aligned for the right things to occur for you. This is a big one. Oh my God, I'm so happy I wrote this down. 9/11 survivors. Haven't shared this before, not for any reason. I guess I forgot about it because it's crazy. So, when I worked at Amen Clinics, that's the holistic functional psychiatry practice that has like the best clinical medical outcomes. So when I worked the first, must have been the first 2 months I worked there, because I was at the front desk and I met a 9/11 survivor. And when I say that, and my birthday's 9/11, so there's a lot there. The 9/11 event happened on my 16th birthday. Again, I didn't think I was going to make it to 16. So when I woke up and my super fucking hot, beautiful, amazing boyfriend greeted me at my door with 24 roses. And then I got to school and there was a huge banner. All of my friends signed it. Like the whole school knew it was Fallon's birthday, basically. And then, 9 a.m. Eastern time happened and then everything ended. And I was like, is this why I had this like fear of dying? I don't know. Anyway, a lot to the 9/11 thing. So I literally met a 9/11 survivor. When I say that, she was on like the 20 something floor of one of the buildings and she literally survived. Like she saw people screaming and falling from and burning in these buildings. And I just remember being like, that's insane. Right. And then again, I'm 2 months into this job and I'm like, oh, I guess this is normal for psychiatric practice. Like we hear really fucking crazy stories, right? Not true. I can count on one hand some of the things that happened to me. And I went to the person who had been in the company the longest. She was there, like her and the CEO were friends as teenagers. So she'd been a part of the enterprise for like 30 years. And there were about 5 stories I told her. And she's like, I've never heard this shit or anything like it in my life. You have every reason to like have your little meltdown. This was one of the meltdowns where I didn't understand what was happening. But I fell to the floor in the fetal position, hysterically sobbing. And this has literally only happened when I heard these people's trauma stories on one hand at Amen Clinics. And then when I did my big identity oriented psychotrauma therapy session where all of my family secrets and truths came out, those are the only times I've ever had that type of response, which is actually healthy because you're getting the fetal position to protect yourself. And then if you've been in my world, you also know, like anytime I'm crying or talking about crying, like please celebrate because it's very hard for me to do that. And so I just remember thinking it was wild that I met someone who was literally in one of those buildings and somehow survived because there were not many of them. And then I was training somebody for Amen Clinics, and they were going to be working at the New York clinic, but they came to Atlanta with me to train. And we were talking about, just things to be prepared for and stuff. Like I know that she had a counseling background, but like I always like to prepare people so that like, cause this face doesn't lie. Like if I'm stunned, shocked, angry, sad, happy, whatever, like it's going to be very much on my face. And when someone's very close to you telling you all these horrible things that have happened, like I wanted to be professional. Right. And so telling her about the 9/11 lady who I actually couldn't talk to because she literally was gone. Like she, couldn't function. And this is, however many years later. And so I'm telling my new friend that I'm training for this job for the New York location. She's like, oh yeah, my brother's a 9/11 survivor. And I'm like, what? And she said, yeah, he worked in the Twin Towers. And he had never called out sick ever. I don't remember my brother even ever being sick. And he was violently ill all night. And at that time he was single, living alone in a New York apartment in Manhattan. He was so sick that he woke up in the middle of the night and turned his phone off. I don't even know if your AirDrop was available back or airplane mode was available back then or how that would work. But he turned his phone off. So all day of 9/11, we found out what happened. We are literally at the Twin Towers hoping and praying that they find his body so that we can do something for him. He calls me, his sister. And of course, answering the phone, hysterical. My friend was with her parents. So he called her, but like they were all there hearing him say this. And they're like, oh my God, how are you alive? How are you okay? And he's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, so they told him what happened. And he's like, wow, I must really have a purpose for God to have made me so violently ill I couldn't go to work today. And I shut my phone off, which I've never done. Wild. And it's 1, 2, 3 right now while I'm saying this. Wild how that's connected to some of the other notes that I wrote in my phone. Wow. What else do I got? I got some notes of a reading I did with Courtney Levins, who's an angel communicator. Some things for me to keep in mind when I open my retreat center in Hawaii, which I think is really cool. We were talking about sound baths and how much I love them. And she said, I can do that with smells, and I'm going to do smell baths for people with certain fragrances. And of course, all of the Hawaii things that I've watched in the past 6-7 months, there are plants that grow in Hawaii and don't grow anywhere else on earth. And every time I talk to somebody about like what one of their favorite parts of Hawaii was, it was how everything smelled. So that's really cool. And I'm going to learn a lot more about certain flowers and how they clear trauma. The only one I know of right now from like a neuroscience perspective is saffron, the spice that's made for paella. Excuse me. That is, saffron comes from a flower and it's beautiful. And saffron is like a very powerful antidepressant. It helps with libido. I mean, I took it for years to help with my PTSD treatment. And I restarted it when Lulu, my yellow lab, was in the process of passing because I was a mess. This is really cool. So there's a DNA activation that you can do where you squint your eyes in the early morning sun and you'll see a rainbow light, and you can talk to your cells and asking them to remove any parasites, negative energy, and increase you for the frequency of harmony. And then doing 10 breaths in and out during that process. That's really cool. Can always also, my friend Jules Arn says, like, just ask the intelligence. Or I learned from Tracy L. Clark, truthfully. So adding those words. So I'm asking the intelligence to see this opportunity in this way, or see this person in this new way. Truthfully, how do I feel about doing this thing? It's really, really powerful. I love that. Have another note, which was so funny when this popped up. So Meta AI gate, when I was, so I got the download, it's been a few months, of quantum brain health. And I'm going to make that a certification course. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And AI gave me their definition of what quantum brain health was. And I thought that was hilarious. And I've already trademarked quantum brain health coach, quantum brain health coaching. It's official. It's done. It's just a matter of putting it together. And I really feel like I have to be in the vibrational frequency of Hawaii. But that is going to be a certification. I'm going to teach everything you would need to know about holistic mental health, cancer prevention, literally everything that I've learned, everything that me and my mentors have supported people through. I'm very excited about that. Oh my God. And as I'm looking at my phone, this is so weird because I was thinking about this yesterday. It's not weird. It's perfect. It's completely meant to be. Today is my 9-month anniversary of being an ordained minister. Yay me. If you're getting married and you want to hire me, I'm available. Come find me, reply to this email. But yeah, I'm really excited about the quantum brain health coach certification. Obviously managing certifications in mental health for 12 past years for somebody else. I want it to be amazing. So I have my courses now. I have my dementia prevention course. I have my ADHD course. I have my quantum brain health masterclass, which was kind of like when this all first came to fruition. It's on my website, fallonjordan.com. Just click courses. But I'm really excited for this quantum brain health thing because it's going to be everything I learned from functional psychiatry, holistic psychiatry, cancer prevention, and then quantum energy healing and hanging out with the angels and the fairies and all the vibes. So I'm so excited for that. Have some ideas. Someone gave me a free business consult and he charges $2,000 an hour. So very grateful for that. He gave me some recommendations of different ads I could do once I want to start investing in doing certain things for my courses, because y'all, my dementia prevention course is literally the most amazing thing ever. And if everybody had it, the world would be a much better place. So one of my financial goals is being able to invest in that, because it's me against them. It's us against them. And ads cost a lot of money, but I want people to have this course. It's amazing. And if you go to my website under courses, you'll see that it's $1,000. If you really, really want it and you don't want to pay $1,000, you can email me why you want it and make me an offer, and I will let you know. And then this is a great place to end. So one of the fun things that you can do whenever you get stuck is you just say, I call upon and effortlessly activate the frequency of, and then frequency of love. I like, frequency of 10,000 hertz energy frequency, because that's what Joshua Bloom helped me with and taught me. And he's fucking amazing. So anytime I'm in his energy, anytime I use his mantras, like, things happen. I love that. I have a lot more notes, but I just wanted to do a couple things, and I told myself that I have to bounce at 1:30, which it's 1:30 now. But I hope that you got some nuggets from this. I know it's kind of all over the place, but that's me, right? I'm gonna pull a card real quick. Ooh. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. If this feels like you're not alone. And talk to me. Let's see how I can help you. But yeah, just activating your throat chakra as much as you can. Like, for me, going like getting the air out helps a lot. Anything where like there's a vibration. So my little Archer loves to sit here on me because he'll purr on me because it's helping me heal. But I love you guys so much. You have no idea how grateful I am that you are watching this and are in my community. I am here for you. This is why I was put on the earth, was to help you in your process, your healing, your transformation. If there's anything I can do to support you, please, please let me know. Just reply to this email or message me on Instagram. Like, I'm very much available for you. I want to serve, and I just love you so much. And I hope that you have a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.